What's up, Group Coach Nation? Let's do this. I got Melinda Emerson here today. The small biz lady, you know who she is. You've seen her books, you've seen her speak, you've seen her show. I'm so excited, Melinda. Thanks for doing this.
Oh my gosh, Chris, this is the best. I'm such a fan.
If you want to sell high ticket coaching programs, group coaching programs, masterminds, all the stuff that we all do, I know that's why you tune in here, Group Coach Nation. We love you. This is your person. She's freaking genius at this stuff. But first, as always, let's let Melinda take us down this journey of how she built her group coaching program, how she built her mastermind, whatever you want to call it, Melinda, you call it your thing. But we love trying to figure out, okay, how did it work? Because we all need to find someone who's like, oh, you're like that's me. I could do that too. Now I get the vision for it. So okay, where were you in your mindset when you were like, okay, I have to do something groupish? What made that light bulb turn on?
Well, it was just like, for me, I have to be honest with you. For the first 10, 15 years of my business, I didn't do coaching. I ran from it. I had no interest in it. And then things started to change, And so my story starts back before I started coaching, right? So how I became small biz lady is probably a very relevant story to your audience.
Let's go there. Yeah.
I'm going to date myself with all this, but just preface it by, you can learn something from older people. That's all I can say. All right. So when I wrote my book, Become Your Own Boss in 12 Months, I wrote it in 2008. It was due to my publisher, September 1st, 2008. The market crash, what was that? September 14th, 2008?
Yep.
So my publisher called me up and said, listen, thank you so much for being a first-time author that actually turned your book in on time. But listen, we don't think anybody lose their jobs right now or think about entrepreneurship at all. So we're going to shelf your book until March of 2010. They shelved my book for 18 months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. In the middle of the pandemic, when my husband had just lost his job, my business was on life support because I had been on bed rest for 6 months having my son. So my son was still like in his first year of life. And they were like, yeah, we don't think anyone's thinking about entrepreneurship right now. So,
Wow. By the way, you just said middle of pandemic. That was middle of the recession in 2008.
Middle of the recession. Yeah. So this is 08, 09. Yeah. So not the pandemic.
Group Coach Nation, just pay attention to that one because she's weathered 2 mega storms as entrepreneurs and she's rocking. So she knows what she's talking about. Keep going.
Yeah. So I was like, holy macaroni, Batman, what is we going to do? Right. So I went to my National Speakers Association meeting. I'm based in Philadelphia. Went to my NSA meeting and I told everybody what happened. My publisher basically gave me the shaft, like, what do you guys think I should do? And one woman was like, listen, if I were you, I would start publicizing that book anyway, like it was coming out. As a matter of fact, I would try to figure out this new social media thing everybody's starting to talk about, because I want you guys to understand, in 2008, Twitter was 1 year old.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Wow.
So this is like when social media was nascent, right? So I was like, social media, what? Like I had tangentially heard about it over here, but wasn't.
I don't think it's going to catch on. It's probably not.
Right. Like that's where I was. That's exactly where I was. So my girlfriend was like, look, if I were you, I'd hire a publicist to help you like figure this out. But, use this time to build your author platform. And back then people didn't even use those 2 words together. I want you to really understand what's going on. So I called this woman. Her name was Kathy Larkin. I told her my sad story. And she said, wait a minute. You mean we got 18 months to build your platform before this book comes out? She was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm sitting there on the phone thinking I'm talking to a crazy person, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, I know exactly what we're going to do. And I said, well, what is we going to do? And she said, we're going to go out on Twitter and build your brand. And I remember saying to her, what is Twitter? Because at this point, I hadn't even seen it. I didn't even know what it was, right? So, so I'm like, okay, let's go get signed up for Twitter. So she's on the phone in front of her computer. I'm on the phone in front of my computer. I go to twitter.com and I put in Melinda Emerson, and the notice came back. This name is already taken.
Oh, I was like, did you get no way? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, what you need to know is that my name is not common. I've met 6 other Melindas older than me, like in my whole life. So the fact that there was another Melinda Emerson and that troll had gotten to Twitter before me was ridiculous, right? So
it was one of those 6 people, though. You know, it's one of those 6 people.
So I'm like, so I'm going to be Melinda _ Emerson. Am I going to be Melinda Emerson 1? I was like, nah, I'm not doing any of that. So she was like, all right, let's come up with a nickname for you. And I was like, a nickname? You mean like Mindy or Melly Mel or something? And she said, no, fool, you're not a rapper. I'm not going to give you a name like that. So then she was like, all right. So we're brainstorming. We're on the phone. This is like a 2-minute. And then she said, how about small biz guru? How about small biz expert? And then she said, how about small biz lady?
Heck yeah.
And I was like, I think I can be her. Right. And that's how the brand got started.
Okay.
And then it was like, okay, we got 18 months until this book is coming out.
I got to pause you there because so many people perseverate over, do I have the right domain? Do I have the right name? Do I have freaking pick a brand and do the work? The work is what makes the brand happen. Not, I mean, in 2 minutes.
Say it again for the people in the back.
The work is what makes the brand happen, not the sexy name.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. But luckily I did get a sexy name, right? Anyway, so then she said, look, here's what you got to do. 3 things you got to post every day. You got to post something helpful for small businesses. Back then, I didn't even have a blog because, right, blogs were still new in 07, 08, by the way. So she was like, find an article, post it, post something personal about yourself. I had a baby, so that was easy. I had to, I would post something about my son. Had to act like an ape to get JoJo to eat a banana this morning, like anything, but just so that people would know that I was a real person and not like a business robot. And then I would answer somebody's small business question every day.
Oh, that's good.
Those are the 3 things I did every day. I worked Twitter like a job. You hear me? Like 9 to 5. I was on the case. I was doing it. On the weekends, I took it off, but not Monday through Friday, I was on the game, right? And so eventually, within 6 months, I did launch my blog, succeedasyourownboss.com, which is actually now we've published over 5,000 articles about how to start and grow a successful small business. In the meantime, I was still every day answering people's questions, doing something personal, finding an article, Entrepreneur Inc., New York Times, wherever I could find something, I would post it. But what I was doing was friend raising. Because at that point, I wasn't trying to sell anybody anything. I was just building my brand. I was just being helpful. But what I was also doing was building a community. Yeah. Building people that were following me, building people that were like, wow, she makes good recommendations. And then we launched Small Biz Chat, which was a live chat on Twitter that I did for 10 years, every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Wow. And I used to interview people in written format live on Twitter. It's now what my podcast is called. And we've now been a podcast for about 7 years. But I started with a tweet chat. And that's how I built my community online. And eventually people started paying attention to me. Twitter made me one of the accounts they recommended when you first signed up for Twitter. So then I went from, 10,000 followers to 100,000 to 200,000 to, I think these days we're around 300,000 or something. But my point is that I started with serving, not selling. I started by building that trust relationship before I ever tried to sell people anything.
My gosh. I want to pause there because that is something people show up wanting to learn how to sell because they're desperate and they miss the serving thing way too often. Yeah. Melinda, you'll appreciate this. I'm interviewing for our next book coming out late 2026, I hope. You know how that is. Early 2027. I do. Yeah. We're interviewing the world's biggest, best, longest run masterminds. All the name brands we all know in this industry to find out what is the through line that makes those really good ones work. And without exception, I'm a couple dozen interviews in at this point. We're going to interview, I think, closer to 100 of these people around the world. Without exception, every one of them has started their mastermind or their community, whatever you want to call it, when they weren't looking for money. They started because they actually wanted a community and it became extremely profitable. Like the heart of what you're doing comes through. Like if you know, I mean, how it is. I'll shut up in a second. But I used to sell stocks and bonds and like insurance products. And the guy who taught me to sell, when I was first starting out, he's like, dude, you got commission breath. People can smell it on you. You're just after the commission. You got to care. You got to care for these people. That's what they're looking for. Anyway, you're talking my language.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna break that down. Commission breath, Lord.
Commission breath. That's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, that's priceless. But yeah, so I for a year didn't sell anything to anyone. I just helped. If somebody else had a book coming out, I would have them on Small Biz Chat, or I would feature them on my blog, or I would do reviews. Like I was like, I got to bide my time. I was certainly out doing speaking engagements and things like that, but I was basically like, I got to serve my audience. I got to serve my audience. I got to serve my audience. And then when we got to like 6 months before the book, then we started doing things, book is coming out, promoting it, creating little contests and things like that. And, but literally Twitter was where I built my $1 million brand. And then later, and we did not get off of Twitter until we dominated on Twitter. And then we went to Facebook, and then we went to LinkedIn. These days, my business, probably 90% of our business comes off of LinkedIn. But back in the day, I was a Twitter queen, and still to this day in my heart love Twitter, although it's not what it once was. And I want
to point out another. You're just dropping so many like golden nuggets out here. You just said you didn't move to other platforms until you dominated the first platform.
Yeah.
Everybody like pay attention to this stuff, because that is, people try to be awesome on 5 platforms.
You do not need to be on, unless you sell social media services, boo. You do not need to be on 5 social media platforms. You need to be on 1 or 2. And really, they need to be the 1 or 2 where your best target customer hangs out online.
Yep.
And
that's only good at those things. Yes.
Yeah. Like you don't need to be, it's too much time. Like all of us are like individual people with, a team of contractors behind us. It's like, you do not need to be out here, spreading your love like that. You need to focus. I tell people all the time, and getting back to selling our services, right? You need to focus on one product, one channel, one target audience, period. If you are trying to sell your masterminds or your live events, retreat, whatever it is, one offer, one channel, one target audience.
We could leave the episode right there. Y'all, like, listen to what she's saying. That is the God honest truth. It is so freaking true. Stop all the freaking noise. Stop. I know I'm like you. I have a million great ideas every day I wake up, and they will suck you dry. Pick the one thing and dominate.
Right. Like what? And I'll tell you the truth about when we started coaching. All right. So let's go back to that. Yeah. Let's get back to what we're really supposed to be talking about. So when I first launched my coaching program, beyond being a one-on-one coach, right? And I realized that wasn't practical because my schedule was too crazy. The first thing we did was launch a really expensive high ticket program. It was called How to Become a Brand in Demand. And it was a 6-month program.
Love it.
And it was $30,000 with an upsell to $50,000 for one-on-one coaching with it.
Love it.
I threw a big live conference at the W Hotel in downtown Philadelphia. I spent a bunch of money, right? And I got the students that I wanted to get. But here's what I realized after we did the first cohort. You know what I realized? And my target audience, by the way, let me just give you guys a little bit of background. My target audience was coaches and like authors, speakers, coaches, and consultants. So I was like anybody that wanted to be known, wanted to be, get book deals, get speaking deals, be in the media, build a coaching practice. That was my target. And it was a good target. But once we got into the first cohort, you know what was like a blaring red light for me? None of these people knew how to sell. It didn't matter. If I help them build the most beautiful websites, lead magnets, videos, landing pages, tell them how to do all this stuff. Oh, you want to get a book? Let me show you how to get, because my book, Become Your Own Boss in 12 Months, by the way, just to finish that little story, has been out for 15 years. We've sold over 100,000 copies worldwide with Simon & Schuster.
Wow, that's
so the end of that story was all that doggone work for 18 months worked out for me.
Yeah, right? It did.
It wasn't, but it wasn't an overnight success. I wasn't a New York Times bestseller, but guess what? I am a bestseller because I've sold 10 to 15,000 books every year for the last 15 years.
Holy cow.
So there's that. My book is in its 3rd edition.
That's amazing.
But my point is that what I realized after we did the first cohort was that I was selling the wrong thing. I used the data from the first cohort to realize my clients weren't going to get the results that I needed them to get because their offers wasn't clean. They didn't know how to sell. And so then we realized as a team, after we got the feedback from them, after the first cohort was over, me and my team sat around, and I pulled in my business coach, by the way. I'm a coach, but I got a coach. Every coach should have a coach too, by the way.
I totally agree.
And I told my coach what I was hearing and what I saw my clients struggling with. And he was like, Melinda, why don't you have a sales training program? He said, you could lower the price. He said, you probably could get more people in it. And then you could upsell them later to branded demand, but they're not ready for branded demand if they're not clear what their offer is.
Yeah, teach them how to make some money, and then they can
have no sales process. They don't know how to generate leads. There's a difference between a marketing qualified lead and a sales qualified lead. And just knowing how to close. Like when you get somebody on the Zoom, how do you close them? What do you do with, I need to think about it? No, I got an answer for you need to think about it, right? So the point is that I realized I was selling the wrong thing.
And I'm again, you just like dropping the golds here. So everybody looks at what you do, Melinda, what we do, what so many people out there who kind of, yay, it's working. And they're like, oh my gosh, but why did it work for you, but not for me? It freaking doesn't work the first time, and it doesn't work overnight, and it might not work for the first 10 times. Like Melinda is listening to her audience. She's selling, listening, tweaking, selling, listening, tweaking, just constantly. It's never a one and done. I think the first e-course I ever bought, Melinda, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, it was some evergreen funnel build, I want a money tree in my backyard that never stops printing cash. That's so much BS. That's not how it works.
Oh, all these people with these ads on Instagram, beware. Okay. Y'all need to Google these people and make sure that they actually have a track record you can find. Please do not fall victim to somebody's slick marketing and advertising. Go Google them. If you can only find them on one channel, that's a problem. You can't find any recommendations or testimonials or anything about them. Like, listen, I do not have conversations with people about whether or not I can solve their problem. We just talk about availability and price. And the reason for that is because my track record is so well documented online. I think it's 24 pages if you Google my name. So again, not to like super flex, but I mean, there's so many people out here that have taken, what is that boy's name? Russell Brunson. They all taken Russell's stuff, and they all, if it's not him, it's the other guy that does it. It's like, and they all did that little format, and they're all selling the same way and have no track record to prove that they can even do what they say they can do.
And Melinda, I think 99.999% of them, like the other humans on the planet, we really do mean well. But if the person doesn't have a track record, be careful. And
don't be buying services for somebody who's barely one step ahead of you. That's the thing that makes me mad. That's the thing that has upset me, because I feel like people have cheapened what we do. Like there's so many charlatans out here that the coaching profession has almost become like the lawyer profession, like, the snake oil. Like I hear so many horror stories about these high ticket, high end programs. People took out second mortgages to take so-and-so's program and still don't know nothing.
Yep.
Or being signed to 3-year coaching contracts. It's just craziness.
Yeah.
Look, if I can't fix you in a year, run from me. Run. Like if I can't fix you in 6 months, coaching should not be infinite. Like it should go on and on and on. Either
get the
I
job done,
transformation, or I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like there's so much bad practice out here.
Okay, so we got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
You've given us an enormous amount of value in the sales stuff. I think everybody like go back, rewind, listen to this thing, listen for the sales tips because I'm trying to call them all out. They're coming so fast. What made you decide to start a group coaching program instead of a one-on-one coaching program?
Oh, because trading dollars for hours is a losing game. I mean, you only have, and plus I have so many revenue streams, I couldn't even focus on it. We do consulting, I do speaking, I'm an adjunct professor, like I got a lot of stuff going on. And we license our training to corporations and things, and we do supplier development programs for corporations. So it was like my time was gold bullion, and we just realized that we could not clone me. So there was 2 things we decided to do. Number 1, we decided to create group coaching programs, and 2, we decided to license and train other small biz lady coaches.
Ooh, I love that.
That it didn't have to be me all the time, that I could leverage this 20 years of content that I have built to train and support other people so that they could leverage my trainings and my brand. So yeah, those are the things that we did.
What's the one question before we go? By the way, for those of you listening in, I've got her website on the screen. Sorry, I should have said it since you might not be able to see it. Smallbizladyuniversity.com. Really simple.
That is our online school. Yes.
Smallbizladyuniversity.com. Go there, check it out, reach out to Melinda there. Oh, Melinda, what's the one question I should have asked you that I haven't asked you? I don't know what it is.
What sales coaching do I sell? What is my sales coaching program? You should ask me that.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
So we have 2 sales coaching programs. We have the Sales Accelerator Bootcamp, which is 6 weeks, where we will teach you how to sell. We will teach you how to develop your sales process. We will teach you how to not just generate leads, but qualify leads. We'll teach you how to close. We will teach you how to sell to corporations or sell in your own backyard, depending on how you market. And then we're going to show you the tech stack. We're going to show you the landing pages, the lead magnets, the sales funnels. And lastly, I'm going to teach you how to hire sales support. A lot of times people think, oh, I need a salesperson. You probably don't. You probably just need an appointment setter, maybe a closer. Salespeople are like the final frontier. So we teach you how to find those people, how to write your job descriptions, and how to do onboarding of those people. Because if you don't have a proper sales process, you might as well drive down the street and throw money out the door, because your sales team won't be able to function if you can't tell them what road to take. And so that's what we do. And then after that program, we got a high ticket closer program. So you sell something that's 10, 25, 100 grand. Oh yeah, we're ready for you in high ticket closers. So both of those programs are 6 weeks. They stack. But if you're just really struggling with sales and you've just tried and hired people to help you, I promise you, if you take my Sales Accelerator Bootcamp, I'm the last person that's going to have to teach you how to sell.
I freaking love that. I'm going to end it with that. Wow. You're so cool. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. You have such a wonderful spirit. You're the type of person that I feel your hug before you even open your mouth.
That's so nice. I love that. All right. Group Coach Nation. We say this every freaking time. Do the work, get the results. Just please do the right work. That's why we got Melinda on today, is to say, here's a path, follow it. You don't have to recreate this stuff. You can trust other coaches. You're a trustworthy coach out there. There are other people like you. In fact, most coaches are trustworthy. It's okay. Rest, relax, but learn how to freaking do the right work. Take a deep breath. And right now, before we leave the show, write down that action. If you're driving, don't have a wreck, put it in your brain. If you're somewhere else, grab a sticky note, write down what is the one action I'm going to take after listening to this today. It could be contacting Melinda. It could be contacting Group Coach Nation. It could be practicing some mindset stuff you just heard about. It could be remembering some quote that's like, oh my gosh, this is going to change the way I make the next sales call today. Take the action. Smallbizladyuniversity.com is Melinda. Melinda, you're a freaking rock star. I'm so proud to have you on our show. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris.
Y'all rock on, everybody.